Next prevention is administration of vitamin A as a part of immunization schedule. Give vitamin A to the children as early as possible. Then fortification of foods with vitamin A is costly but can be done in wheat, sugar and milk. What is fortification of foods? Fortification of foods means adding micro foods in which adding the micronutrients. Nutrients are added to the food. You might have seen the Bonvita Horlicks, that bottle fortified with calcium or fortified with iron, like that they are written. It is fortified. It is nothing but is nutrients added to them. Fortification of foods with vitamin A is costly, so we can give the children wheat, sugar and milk. In these foods they will get the nutrients and micronutrients. Next is the hypervitaminosis A. Hyper means excessive. Hypervitaminosis is the excessive administration of vitamin A can lead to vitamin A toxicity resulting in hypervitaminosis. Hypervitaminosis is the excessive administration. The amount of vitamin A is increased, that will cause the vitamin A toxicity. Excessive administration of vitamin A can lead to vitamin A toxicity resulting in hypervitaminosis A. Then, what are the signs and symptoms of toxicity of hypervitaminosis? Nausea, irritability, anorexia, vomiting, blurred vision, headache and hair loss, dryness and weakness, drowsiness, insomnia, weight loss and anemia. These are the signs and symptoms of hypervitaminosis of vitamin A. That is the vitamin A toxicity. Next, fat soluble element is the vitamin D. Vitamin D is otherwise called sunshine vitamin, otherwise called as sunshine vitamin, because vitamin D is getting from the sunlight. Because it can be synthesized in the body in the presence of ultraviolet rays from the sun. Vitamin D is synthesized in the body in the presence of ultraviolet rays from the sun. Vitamin D can also be consumed in diet. Vitamin D is essential for bone health and regulation of calcium and phosphorus level. Function of the vitamin D is the bone health and regulation of calcium and phosphorus level. Vitamin D develops from ergosterol. What is ergosterol? Ergosterol is a provitamin form of vitamin D2. Ergosterol is a provitamin form of vitamin D2. Absorption. Then we will see the absorption. Vitamin D is absorbed in the presence of bile and fat through lymph and stored in liver. Vitamin D is absorbed in the presence of bile and fat through lymph and is stored in the liver. Vitamin D is stored in the liver, absorbed with the help of bile and fat. Next we will see the function. What are the functions of vitamin D? Vitamin D promotes absorption of calcium and phosphorus from small intestine, thus helps to maintain serum calcium and phosphorus. Vitamin D promotes absorption of calcium and phosphorus. It helps to the absorption of calcium and phosphorus from small intestine, thus helps to maintaining serum calcium and phosphorus level, because it helps the absorption of calcium and phosphorus. Then vitamin D promotes reabsorption of bone and mobilization of calcium from the bones. Vitamin D promotes reabsorption of bone and mobilization of calcium from bones. Vitamin D increases the absorption of phosphates by kidney. It increases the absorption of phosphates by the kidney. It causes mineralization of bones. Vitamin D causes the mineralization of bones. What is mineralization? Mineralization of bone is the process of deposition of minerals in the bone matrix. Mineralization means it is a process of deposition of minerals in the bone matrix for formation of bones. It is nothing but it is the deposition of minerals in the bone matrix for the formation of bone. Then it has an immune regulatory role. These are the functions of the vitamin D. Next is the vitamin D deficiency. Lack of vitamin D results in vitamin D deficiency in children. Lack of vitamin D results in vitamin D deficiency in children. Deficiency of vitamin D leads to a disease called rickets. Vitamin D deficiency, the disease called rickets. Risk factors. Then risk factors. Children aged 3 to 3 years are of high risk because this is a period of rapid growth and development, and vitamin D has a vital role in the growth. What are the risk factors? Children the age 3 months to 3 years are the high risk group because this is a period of rapid growth and development, and vitamin D has a vital role in growth. Another risk factor is the lack of sun exposure. Children who live in areas where there is no provision of sunlight are at increased risk. Another risk factor is the lack of sunlight exposure. Who live in areas where there is no provision of sunlight are at increased risk. Then inadequate dietary intake of vitamin D. Inadequate intake of vitamin D leads to vitamin D deficiency. Next we will see what are the clinical manifestations of deficiency of vitamin D. The most prominent effect of vitamin D deficiency is rickets. The most prominent disease is the rickets. It is characterized by the bone deformities. It is characterized by the bone deformity. Rickets is characterized by the bone deformities. Early sign of deficiency are formation of small, round, unossified areas in the bones of skull and beading of osteochondral junction or ribs known as rickety rosary. Early signs of deficiency are the formation of small, round, unossified areas. Small, round, unossified areas in the bones of skull and beading of osteochondral junction of ribs known as rickety rosary. Later features are development of bone deformities such as pigeon breast, bow legs and knock knees. These are the deformities such as pigeon breast, then bow legs, knock knees. Then common skeletal deformities include craniotabs, delayed closure of anterior fontanelle, frontal and